first of all, let me just let everyone know this. I'm not a fan of anime. All right, I like animation. I think that I've seen some incredible anime, like just images and drawings, but the storytelling, some of the acting, I can't get into it. There's a few exceptions, you know, the classics, Akira, you know, Samurai Champloo, I've seen clips of. I've even seen One Piece, an episode or two. But when they first announced this Captain LASERHAWK, I was not into it. Let me show you why I was not into this. I'm not going to play the whole thing, but let me just give you some insight as to why I was not looking forward to this. Right off the bat. No. No. I'm not here for this guy looking like he is late to a rave.
You may know me from the Castlevania animated series on Netflix, one of my fan fiction shorts on YouTube.
See, even he had to be like, all right, I can't do this.
I'm Adi Shankar, and I'm an alcoholic.
Yeah. and Ubisoft has brought me here to take this bullet. But the whole thing that he goes on to explain is that this is going to be emphasis on the word remix. And this whole thing is advertised as a what's it called? A piece that is inspired by Far Cry. But I'm here to tell you that Far Cry is one of the least inspiring things for this.
Matter of fact, it's a far cry to say it was inspired by Far Cry.
Thank you. I have that one written down. Check it off the list. All right, let me show you guys what this was. Hey, you could take that fire, okay? Like that was some good shit, everybody. But let's show you guys what the trailer is for Captain LASERHAWK, and then we'll get into it.
Let's do this.
That is the trailer, and you're probably wondering, looking at that, it's like a frog, a guy with a laser eye who is not the laser guy who we saw in that first trailer that I showed you. But what this is mostly inspired from, believe it or not, is another Ubisoft game that maybe you've heard of, Martin, called Watch Dogs, which came out originally on the PS3. Yeah, there's something from Watch Dogs where it's a bunch of hackers and they have a federation called DedSec. And DedSec is something that plays into this. But what if I told you that's not it? There's more. So we got Blood Dragon in there. We got also Beyond Good and Evil. This game right here with Jade and I forget the name of the other character, the pig there. It's Pinu or something.
Okay, so they're from this game?
Yes,
okay.
They're from that. That's not all. What if I told you there was also some Splinter Cell in there?
Okay.
A little bit of Splinter Cell, more than you might think, in fact. And again, I'm not done. That's not it.
Okay.
And also, The Crew.
What?
Yes, The Crew.
What?
Yeah.
Were they drove across the United States?
So there's one of the characters that shows up early in the series. Let me check my images I got right here. The character's name is Alex Taylor. So he is the blonde, big, huge, buff guy at the beginning.
Okay.
He is a character that is from the game The Crew.
Oh, wow.
Oh,
which is very bizarre to me.
Yeah.
I tell you, that's not all.
Yeah.
There's also, some of you might have seen in the trailer, there is Assassin's Creed in there.
Oh.
That's not all.
Okay.
That's not all, everybody. And also, they included Rainbow Six Siege. And this one is a little, you got to dig a little bit for it to see where it is in there, but they still had it in there. That's not all. That's not all. One of my favorite characters from my childhood growing up is in here too. The one and only Rayman.
Okay, because, Rayman features prominently in this show. And I was just like, I feel like I've seen this before.
Yeah. Absolutely. Marcus Holloway, who is the lead character in the game Watch Dogs 2.
Oh,
Which I
okay.
thought was so interesting
Yeah.
and something I just did not see coming. So, how does this all work? I think that, does it come together? Is this worth your time to watch? Man, I gotta tell you, I was blown away by this. I had the lowest possible expectations after seeing that guy's press conference. I was like, this looks like some anime bullshit. I am not here for it. But they totally turned me around.
About if I'd seen the trailer that you showed, I probably would not have watched it. I was just thought like, okay, it's more action packed, but it's more anime. But I was on Netflix, which I don't go to a lot because they tend to not have a lot of content I'm into. But I'd read.
There's that word again, content.
I know. I feel like I'm streaming. That's the only place, so I'm used to it. But I'd read in the New York Times they were doing a write-up on this new show called Bodies that's on Netflix. And I thought, oh, this sounds interesting. I'll check it out. And I'm at the carousel, and Bodies is there, and I'm trying to click that. But I also see Captain LASERHAWK. And
Whatever the fuck that is.
yeah, I was like, man, that name is so goofy. I wonder if it's one of these things where it's goofy, but it's actually a good show. Because, yeah, the whole thing, Blood Dragon Remix, I was like, God damn, you got 5 different titles on this thing. But I was curious about it. But I was trying to click for Bodies, and I accidentally clicked Captain LASERHAWK. And it was like, well, I'm here.
So what was it? Was it an accident?
Yeah. It's almost like a Ouija board, where it was like leading me to it.
They could update their UI a little bit for sure.
Yeah. And I started watching it, and right off the bat, I was like, man, this is giving me a Cowboy Bebop vibe. Actually, more like Lupin, which Cowboy Bebop, they all have the same DNA.
Interesting.
And that first episode was just like, man, the choreography on this and where it's going and the heroes, this heist. I'm swept up. I'm kind of into it. And then by the time you get so many major drops happen toward the end of the episode.
Yeah.
And I was like, well, shit, I gotta find out where this goes. And in the next episode, it's not even, it's the same character, it picks up, same story. It's a different feel. It's more Suicide Squad than anything else.
Yes, that's what I was going to say is early on in that first episode, I was getting a James Gunn vibe. It definitely has it had at first a Guardians of the Galaxy feel to it, where it's we're putting a team of ragtags together.
Yeah.
A lot of, stuff from the games that I mentioned. And it does evolve into, like you said, a Suicide Squad sort of thing. It almost is a similar style of animation to Cross the Spider-Verse or something like that, just because it blends and shoves in so many things together that people would say, no, that doesn't work.
Yeah.
And they totally make it work.
Right. Yeah. If you present it to an executive, we want to do this and have it do this, they're like, come on, kid. You got to pick one thing or the other.
Yeah, this looks like shit. I'm not doing this.
Yeah.
But they really do a great job of innovating, and they're bold with. We didn't see a whole lot of connection to Far Cry. But there's one specific part in it where it's there it is. That's what it is. And there is one character who shows up from Far Cry, the villain from Far Cry 4, the guy with the hair and the pink suit.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that was him. And
That's him. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, that makes perfect sense. Okay.
Yeah.
That's in the second episode.
Yes, but there was one line that really stood out to me where it sounds so stupid and it fits, this whole faux 80s aesthetic. But it was the part where they're like, we got to take out the tower. And it's that right there is generic bullshit dialogue right out of Far Cry. Because the way that these Far Cry games have evolved into, it's there's different bases of bad guys. And you gotta go hack a radio tower or something and destroy and take over the base.
Yeah.
So them doing it, that was a attention to detail that I really appreciated as a fan of some of these games. And I gotta tell you, I really like this. It's not my favorite show of the year, but I would give it a high full price. I think
I would give it a high full price too. It was a real surprise. I was enjoying every minute of it, and only sad that it was only 6 episodes.